Let's get physical. It's Jordan here, back again with this week's update on all the physical releases coming to the Nintendo Switch, October the 27th until the 31st. Let's see what we've got this week. Tales of Xillia Remastered is releasing this week on Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 5. An Xbox physical in Europe was planned but was cancelled at the last minute. This was originally a PS3 title from 2011, back when, in my opinion, the JRPG genre was going through a bit of a tough time. The whole early HD era was rough, but it seems that the Tales series, they were still chugging along, doing what they always did, nice, colourful, adventurous action RPGs with lots of character-driven stories. I have not played this one, but reviews were decent for it, and maybe it holds up even better now that we're less inclined to have big blockbuster JRPGs. I believe Bandai also, low-key, announced that they will be doing Xillia 2 at some point in the future, probably the next remaster. But anyways, this release, my executive producers, Lewis K, Radio to Rancid, Alexander Cato, Ghost Bune, and Sora Cat have chosen this as their pick of the week. Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D Remake is releasing this week on Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2, but that is a game key. Boo! This is going to be a huge release, and it's amazing to think we've got two JRPG physical releases this week from such well-established and respected franchises. This, however, is a double pack, and both are full remakes of the early Dragon Quest adventures, basically pioneers of the genre. They've had remakes before, but nothing quite as grand and as glorious as this in HD 2D. Due to the original game's size, they've also been expanded for this release, and will surely be a great way to play them for the first time. It's also releasing physically on PlayStation 5 and Xbox. And my executive producers, Jeddah Crow, Jennifer M, Dane Wilkinson, Josh Foote, The Nemo 6, Brent McLean, Adamantium, Ishin, Robotech, Kevin W, Punky Dooster, and Kava Clavicol have chosen this as their pick of the week. And if you want it or any of the retail games in this video, then please consider purchasing via the links in the description and pinned comment. That massively helps me out in this series to keep producing useful physical content for you guys. VGP are a really nice company with free worldwide shipping on orders over 75 Canadian bucks, which is like 54 American dollars, not that much. Plus each week, if you buy something with my link, you are put into a draw to have a chance of winning a $10 discount coupon. And this week's winner is Yosue S. Congratulations, you should get an email from VGP with your discount coupon in the coming days. If you don't, just give me a heads up and I'll sort it out. Monument Valley, the Trilogy, is releasing this week on Switch and PlayStation 5. It is exactly what it says on the tin. It's a trilogy collection of the Monument Valley games that are very highly rated, relaxing puzzle games with a focus on visual illusions. They look like one of them famous pictures from that famous bloke, who's so famous I can't remember what he's called, like Etch-a-Sketch guy, something like that. These may look a bit boring in the trailer, and when they featured in a Nintendo Direct that one time, it did grind things to a halt, but they are great games if you're in the mood for them. Simon the Sorcerer Origins is releasing in Europe this week on Switch and PlayStation 5. It was due for a North American physical release, but that had to be cancelled. I don't know why, but I am assuming the pre-order numbers were worryingly low, which is a shame but kind of understandable. This is a series that will be nostalgic to Europeans with their home computer adventure games. I've never played a game in the series before, but I am looking forward to this origin story. It's got Chris Barry back in the lead role, voicing Simon, and Chris Barry is awesome. I'm happy to support anything he's in. If you live in North America and you want a point-and-click adventure game physically, such as this one, then you can order it via my link via In-In-Games' website. They have the standard edition there as well as the collector's edition, and you can get 5% off that with my code PARADISE. And my executive producer, Viz, has chosen this as his pick of the week. Feardemic Horror Bundle is releasing this week on Switch and PlayStation 5. This is a triple pack from Funbox and GS2 Games, and you know what? It looks pretty awesome. All three games are horror in some kind. Some are more on the nose, some more atmospheric, but all three are decently well regarded in terms of reviews. Maybe on the shorter side, but together in a bundle, it's just nice. So if you're looking for a nice value pack of horror games, then this is definitely one to look into for sure. Asterix and Obelix Mission Babylon is releasing in Europe this week on Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 5. There is no North American version, which kind of makes sense. Not many Asterix and Obelix games have released over there before, and of all the Asterix and Obelix games on the Switch, this might be the most boring to look at. It seems to be a 2D platformer. The trailer doesn't show any gameplay, but imagine an Outright Games platformer, stick the goals in it, and there you go. It's not particularly inspired. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm not. Turok Trilogy Bundle was willed into existence pretty much by myself, at least I'm going to take the credit for it. You're welcome. Limited Run did these individually over the years, but this bundle sticks all 3 games together for the same price as one Limited Run release. Such good value for money. 3 awesome early first-person shooters, very nicely remastered for modern consoles, with the Switch version having like gyros and stuff. Absolutely essential if you're a Nintendo 64 kid, or you're just tired of modern FPSs and their hand-holding. You want to get lost in a video game? Play Turok, okay? This will also be on PlayStation 5, and my executive producers Super Ben Julio, Cartoon Soren, and Michael Del Polito have chosen this as their pick of the week. Paw Patrol Rescue Wheels Championship is releasing this week, another Outright Game special in the run-up to Christmas. Probably a fun enough game for 5-year-old kids. The developers also handled plenty of other Outright Games kart races over the years, so if your kid is a fan of Paw Patrol, it'll keep them occupied for a handful of hours, and the rebellion is still going on. My executive producers, Azrath and These Nuts, have chosen this as their pick of the week. Harvest Moon Home Sweet Home is releasing in North America this week. It looks like the European release is lagging behind for a short time. Not to worry though, this looks like a bit of a regression for the franchise, which seemed to be finally on the up and up with the past couple of releases. However, this looks like Mobile Game Central. Could be a case of judging a book by its cover, but I don't have a massive amount of faith in this being great, but who knows. Alright, the low print limited pre-orders. Incantation is Eastasiasoft and PlayAsia's latest exclusive release. Thematically strong for the horror season, it's another horror game from Softstar, who also did The Bridge Curse, which I found pretty good all things considered. Very solid game, and I would expect the same here. As always, it's coming in a standard edition, as well as a limited collector's edition, which you can order on Thursday. I would appreciate it if you came back here and used my links to purchase that. It helps me in the best way possible. TriggerHeart EXELICA Enhanced is limited runs game this week, and it is a strange-ish one. So the non-enhanced edition released via Red Art Games in both Europe and North America. It came out not all that long ago, all things considered. This enhanced edition stayed in Japan until now, and this includes a new character to play as well as a bigger focus on the story with new animated intro as well as more CGs, which in all honesty, that kind of sounds like a negative thing for me. Like, who wants CGs? Like, who wants more CGs in their shmups? It also completely changed the scoring system, so personally, I wouldn't call this enhanced edition all that much enhanced. In fact, the standard edition right now, VGP has that discounted to $21, and that seems like a better option to me. I don't want more CGs in my shmup. Alright, the import section, PlayAsia territory. If you want to pre-order any of these, you can also do so via my PlayAsia links and VGP where applicable. But if you order from PlayAsia, you can get 5% off with my code Jordan2025. It's a big week in Japan and Asia. Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 3 should be releasing this week as a PlayAsia exclusive, and I say should be, but it's not, because it released last week. Yes, they started sending them out on Friday, so many of you will have this JRPG on the way already. This is the third and final remake of the original trilogy of cult games that do have their fan base, and if you want it physically on Nintendo Switch in English, then you'll need these PlayAsia exclusive releases. The Western physical release was cancelled due to Nintendo's Western policies, but this Asian release is a nice little loophole. There is a standard edition as well as a collector's edition. Only 2,000 copies of that, and they still have units left, so don't miss out if you want it. And my executive producers, Dave Horworth, God of Resin, and Lolo Jojo have chosen this as their pick of the week. Majogami is a very important title releasing this week. It's releasing physically in Japan and Asia with English on Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2. And on Switch 2, it is a proper cartridge. and it's not even like a Nintendo Switch 2 edition, so it's a bespoke Nintendo Switch 2 cartridge. The game itself is an action platformer that's all about comboing attacks together, zipping around the stages. Having played the demo, I am sure this is something Sonic fans will be able to enjoy a lot, and I enjoyed it too, although the demo was a bit short. Either way, let's hope it's a success because this is an indie publisher putting out proper Nintendo Switch 2 cartridges, and if it's a success, hopefully they do it more and we get less game keys, okay? This is quite important. It's coming in a standard edition as well as a collector's edition, and my executive producers, Instacritic, Vey, and G Bautista 100 have chosen this as their pick of the week. Seventh Domain Tree of Chaos is a Leo full special, by which I mean it was announced a few days ago and is already releasing this week. I like that kind of turnaround, it's old school. This is an Asian exclusive release in Singapore that will play in English, and it's basically a Chinese knockoff of Dead Cells. A good copy though, with fast-paced action, roguelite progression. This has some tarot cards thing going on to add a little twist, but it looks pretty good. And my executive producer Jake Vav has chosen this as his pick of the week. DC de Capo Re is releasing in Japan this week, and this is a surprising one. I know VN fans have been dreaming of an English DC de Capo release for a long time, and it's finally here. This is a remake of the first game in the series, which was never the most highly regarded one, but you gotta start somewhere, and the fact that it's in English is almost a miracle. It's been published by Bushiroad, who don't always have the best of reputations when it comes to English translations and just games in general, but we'll have to see. It's coming in a standard edition as well as 3 collector's editions, each one representing one of the main girls. So you gotta pick which girl you're into because they ain't cheap. You're not gonna get all 3, trust me, they're like $200 a pop. Touhou Gensou Mahjong is another miracle. It's a proper Mahjong game with English, and it's starring the Touhou characters, more than 130 of them. It has a story mode too, and it seems like it has a lesson mode as well, like how to play Mahjong. Seems like a really packed Mahjong experience, kind of what I've always wanted. I mean, I can give or take the Touhou franchise, I'm just happy there's a Mahjong game in English again. And the game is coming in a standard edition, as well as a collector's edition, which has a soundtrack CD, art book, acrylic chain, and some DLC for some more music. Aquarium wa Odoranai, also known as The Aquarium Does Not Dance, which sounds like some sort of avant-garde play, but it's not. It's a horror adventure game that I believe is a remake of an RPG Maker type of thing, but it's supposed to be quite good. I did pick it up digitally with the intention of doing a review, but more important things came up. But if you like games like this, then it seems like it could be a good choice. It has English. Detective Dotson is another adventure game, but the setting is definitely unique for this one. You are a former Bollywood actor turned detective. You solve cases while doing some funny minigame stuff to add variety. It has really nice environmental art styles, but I'm not liking the character art style. They seem to clash with each other, but whatever, the reviews for it are pretty solid. If you need like a unique detective kind of game, then maybe look at this one. Shadow Corridor Collection, a quick mention to this, which is releasing in Asia this week. Despite being titled slightly differently, this is what released in Japan already. While the Japanese release only focused on the second game in terms of marketing, this one's titling is correct as a collection of the first and second games together. They both play in English and are fine horror games, so I'm told. Japan and Asia are also getting these games. Earthyon had a limited run release and it's getting a European retail release soon, I think. And Wobbly Life, we have that already. The other 2 games do not have English. Alright, let's jump into the community spotlight, but first, if you're new here, or maybe you're not the kind to normally do so, then please subscribe, okay? We want to support physical games into the future, so the bigger this channel is, the more publishers will pay attention to it, okay? Alright, Adam S. sent in this photo with Okinawa Rush. You don't see that very often, especially the North American edition. It is still available via VGNY's website. Executive producer Adamantium sent in this photo with Ancestors Legacy, another one that's not really seen all that often. Again, not rare, just rarely seen in these pickup videos. Bill R sent in some lovely imports with a few visual novels included. Speaking of which, sometime this week, I will be unleashing my mega imports video list. I do it every year. It's become comically large at this point. I think it's like 3 hours and 20 minutes at this point. Executive producer Cartoon Soren sent in this photo with a few limited run releases. Cosmic Fantasy Collection 2 is one I would like to get in the future, but something tells me it will never be in my budget. Executive producer Dave Horwath sent in this photo with a couple of games that sadly don't have English. I think we've come such a long way with Japanese developers including English in their games, but there's still a hell of a lot out there that don't. Executive producer Dead Bunny's YouTube sent in this photo picking up Pizza Tower, which has been very popular in the community spotlight. We've seen it so many times. Executive producer D's Nuts sent in these collector's editions of Red Art games. These North American ones it's been a particularly long wait now, but they are in people's hands. Both of these are exclusive to VGP, so if you were waiting for them to actually be made, now is your chance to pick them up. Eleanor C sent in this photo with some good releases including Touhou, which probably didn't do itself many favors with English-speaking audiences with its name. Like, even someone such as myself, if I saw that on store shelves, I think it was like a foreign language game that got mixed in with the wrong games, and I might think it doesn't even have English. Franco F sent in this photo with the Octopath Double Pack, which is still nicely in stock with VGP. If you've been waiting for it, now is definitely a good chance to pick up the best version of these two games physically. Executive producer Instacritic sent in this photo. Say what you want about Funko. I hate them as much as the next person, but you have to admit that is some pretty clever box art. James is Jim sent in this photo, with him waiting like 3 years or something for Strictly Limited Games to send him this release, even though it has a retail release, and I can't fathom how it took them that long. And I don't buy the money issue with this one. Like, they should have been printed at the same time as the retail release, unless there's something more special about this one. I don't know, I can't remember. Executive producer J Crod 7776 sent in this photo with a pre-order bonus for Pokemon that is so big it needed 2 photos to show it off. Executive producer Kevin W sent in this photo picking up Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles, which when I stated my opinion on it during a spotlight segment a few weeks back, oh boy, did those dislikes start piling up on that video, despite me being incredibly respectful with my opinion too. Oh well. Executive producer Lewis K sent in this photo with Tomb Raider, the Arse End Collection. I know it's cheap already, and I do really want it, but I must be much stricter with my budget limit, so I'm gonna have to wait until like the first discount on this one. McLaren sent in this photo, once again showing his determination to pick up every collector's edition ever. That Marissa one in particular looks really nice, gold and shiny. Executive producer Radio Rancid sent in this photo, getting in the Halloween mood with the Japanese double pack of Bloodstained. Definitely worth it for some Hammer horror vibes. Executive producer Super Ben Julio sent in this photo with Sorry We're Closed, which the gameplay looks really awesome, like I really want to play it, but oddly, I had a few comments telling me to stay away from it, like, why? Twiggy sent in this photo picking up RXN Raijin, the game that has completely disappeared. I've always said like anything can happen when it comes to physical video games like reprints and stuff like that, but I would be absolutely shocked if this game ever got a reprint that it actually does need. Executive producer Vei, my man in Japan, sent in this photo picking up last week's the couple of import exclusives, Quit Today and Sedap, which I'm not sure if that's the collector's edition or that's just how the standard edition comes normally, because it's quite small, but I don't know. Let me know. Executive producer Viz got his copy of the collector's edition of Simon the Sorcerer a week early, which is always a bonus. I also like the false frayed edged look to that. Alright, let's have a roundup. Mohabbat Man. Dat Man. Treats. Robin H. Andrew R. Paul S. Devil Angel. Makazi 007. Cost 71. Revelus. Gundam Base EXE. Shlomo. Kresolak. Dabro 90. Skip to the end. Don't skip to the end, that's a name. Max 1216. Steph M. Starvey, Needless Dragon. Alright, if you want to send in your photos, the details are on the screen right now. Special thanks, as always, to my executive producers, Dane Wilkinson, God of Resin, Brent McLean, Alexander Cato, JCrod7776, Punky Dooster, Cartoon Soren, Robotech, Thorn Metal Luna, Vey, Instacritic, Precision Plague, Alex M, Josh Foot, Ishin, Lewis K, Kevin W, Jennifer M, Super Ben Julio, Double Dave, Husway and Horworth, Sora Cat, The Nemo 6, Ghost Bume, G Bautista 100, Rose, Adamantium, Azrath, Jake Vav, D's Nuts, Jetta Crow, Protorius, Surfacing for Air, Justin PDC, Cookie Kid, Radio Rancid, Danielle O, Switch Effect, Kaba Clavacol, Nerdy Sean, Ligma, Michael Del Polito, Big Bruno, Jimmy A. Guerrero, Max Ty, Viz, Dead Bunny's YouTube, and Alolo Jojo. Plus you, yes, you watching right now, if you watched all the way through, you are a legend as well, and I want to know who you are. Please leave me a tree emoji in honor of 7th Domain Tree of Chaos. Why? I don't know, I'm just looking at it at my script right now. Go check out some of my other stuff, and please look out for my Mega Imports video coming sometime this week. I don't know when, it'll just be there sometime. Subscribe if you haven't, then you won't miss it, yeah? Huh.